Hey everybody, welcome to the next yoga lab. I'm Eric. So we're going to take yoga lab number 5 and number 7 and build on that. So we're building towards jumping or floating back from uttanasana, which is in the sun salutations of a lot of vinyasaflow classes and also the style of ashtanga vinyasa. So let's take it in small stages here and then work with these stages as long as you need. Yeah, don't push it too much and take breaks as you're practicing each of these stages. So the first stage would be, we want to make sure, first of all, just to review from videos 5 and 7, excuse me, this protraction of the shoulders, shoulder blades. Bring the hands down and try putting them in front of your feet instead of by your toes, which is a little more challenging. Bring your big toes together, bend your knees till your thighs are resting on your ribs, that's important, and eyes looking down between the hands. Yeah, now press the index finger knuckle base down to the floor. Rotate your lower arms towards that knuckle, and then to press your shoulders down, chest will come forward. Yeah? So then get used to just leaning forward with the weight on your hands and shoulders and wrists a little bit more. And then maybe at some point or one day, it feels like, okay, I'll try a little hop now. I come up and I go down. I come forward, I go up, and I come down. Okay? So that could be the first stage. Just getting used to keeping the thighs towards the lower ribs. And it's okay if you bend the knees. So the next stage might be, I still keep my hands in front of me, in front of my feet. I do the same things with my hands and arms. I'm pushing the floor away. Yeah? And now this time, when I come forward, I maybe practice coming up on my toes, putting a little more weight forward into the shoulders and the hands, pressing the base of the index finger down, and then I maybe come and lift up on my toes, and then lift up my feet and come down. I come forward, I lift up on my toes, and then I come down. I come forward, lift up on my toes, and then come down. Okay? And then you practice that for X amount of time until you feel comfortable. So something about breath. When you're doing these and you want to breathe properly, practice exhaling when you lift your feet off the ground. Okay? Inhale down. So you don't have a lot of time. You don't need to hang up there for more than one exhalation. Let yourself come down again. Okay? So when that feels okay, then you think, oh, okay, let's try the next one here. So the next one would be maybe my hands in front of my feet. And this time I'm doing everything the same, protraction of the shoulder blades. Yeah, and then depress the shoulders, chest forward, come up onto the toes, and eyes looking between the hands. And then I press down into the floor as hard as I can, lift myself up, and come back into a plank. Okay? So now we're starting to learn a little bit of floating. Okay? But you can also just as well take a step before that, bend the knees, come up with the knees bent, and take a little bit of a smaller step back or hop back. Okay? So the last part of this that we'll do for today is if it gets to the point where, oh my God, my hamstrings are open enough now. I feel like I got the strength and stability in my shoulder girdle and my wrists. And maybe I want to try now coming up with straight legs and floating back into plank or chaturanga. So now we can practice taking the hands either in front of the feet or by the toes, which is what I'll practice here, which is more of the full-on version of this floating back. Eyes looking down. And then as you exhale, you want to lift up and come back to plank chaturanga in that same exhalation. So coming up. And down. Okay, I'll do it again here. This time coming up a little bit more, which would be the next step. Come down. Protract, depress, push the floor away, come on the toes, exhale, eyes looking between the hands, And there's a couple of things you can play with, okay? So take it slow, be patient, enjoy the process. Peace out. Thanks, guys.